If you're a drone pilot or a drone videographer and you're looking for some creative ways to be able to post your work online to land you potential clients, I'm going to be showing you 3 easy ways that you could be editing your content to start getting you potential clients. So without further ado, let's hop onto Premiere Pro and I'm going to show you what these are. One of the easiest ways you can be doing this is just by editing your footage in a vertical style and then adding some music over that. So let me show you what this looks like. So right now, this is our project folder down here, and this is where everything lives, and this is where we're going to be pulling our content from. So the first one is just a static image of a drone fly through that we need. So I already chose one that I wanted to use, which is going to be this one. So once we choose our piece of content, we're just going to go ahead and click over and then drag it. And then once it's on here, this is where we're going to begin to color grade. So what I like to do is go over to the Lumetri color side. And right here where it says input LUT, I'm going to go ahead and input the LUT that I like to use to convert my DLOG footage. So I'm going to go onto my folder, come down to my brand guide, which is where I have everything. And then I'm going to come over to my DJI LUTs, and then right here these are my conversion LUTs that I can choose from. So usually I like to choose this one, and as you can tell, the image looks completely different. So we can go ahead and shut off this to see the before. So that gives me a really good starting point to know what it's going to look like. Now, since we're posting on social media, we need this to be in a 9:16 format. So we're going to go up here to sequence, click that, sequence settings, and then right here we're going to click on that and put 1080 by 1920, and this is going to give us that 9:16 aspect ratio. And now I'm going to come down here to maximum render quality, okay, and okay. So now as you can see, it crops it in pretty tight. Now the training videos that I've seen, the footage actually looks somewhat like this. So what we're going to do is go over to the effects control panel, come over to rotation, and then rotate this all the way down to 90 degrees. And then we're going to zoom out until it covers the entire screen. All right, and so a lot of the training videos, this is it. You just clip it down to about maybe 5 seconds, 7 seconds, depending on how you like the footage to look. And then it's just a drone fly through with a trending sound. So if you look at this clip that I'm referencing and then the clip that we edited as a side by side, you'll see how these two have the same look, same feel, same length. Now the next thing that I want to do is try to find out where there is movement. And so if we press play, you can see it slowly going out. And if you like it like that, you could leave it like that. If you want to do a fly-in, which is usually what I like to do, we could also just reverse the image. I'm going to clip this down to 9 seconds. And then to reverse the image, we're just going to go ahead and right click, come right here to speed duration, reverse speed. And then what that does is reverse our image. So that fly out that we were doing is now going to be a fly in. Even though this color grade looks pretty good the way it is, there are a few things that I want to tweak. So I'm just going to go ahead and come over to the Lumetri color side again. And I'm going to brighten this image up to a 1.2. Then I'm going to drop down the highlights to 66. Contrast as well. I'm going to bring down some of the white. Then I'm going to come over to the curves layer. Then I'm going to come over to the curves adjustment layer. And then just try to do a solid S curve. So grab from the bottom, the middle, and then the top. And see where I like it. So we look right here on the blues and the whites. That's what this is affecting. So we could either make it brighter or darken it up a bit, which I kind of like the way that looks a little bit more. Then I'll drop this down just a tad. And then we can do this to brighten up those shadows or do this to dim them just a bit. So I'll bring that down. Come over to these reds. I kind of like more of the red tones on this shot. Bring up the bottom as well, and then drop this down to make the sky stand out a bit more. And then I'm just going to drag this green down a tad. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the blue. And then there you go. So you can see that change right there. That's the change that was made. And then, like I said, I like to keep it anywhere between 7-10 seconds, depending on some of these. So I'm looking at how the fly-in is going, and then I'll probably stop it right there at that 7-second mark. And then I'll use the same sound as the other video that I was referencing, so I can have the same sound because it's a trending sound. And then after that, I'll just post it on Instagram, and then there you go. Now, another thing you can do is add a text layover, you know, maybe Austin, Texas, or drone videography or something. You could add a text hook, what is called on these videos. But normally, a lot of the trending ones that I see are just the fly through, and that's about it. So that's it for our first video that we're editing. And like I said, it's really that easy. All you got to do is add your conversion LUT, tweak your color grade just a bit. Again, especially because it's social media, I don't get too heavy with the edit because sometimes people are just scrolling by. So I will either use a clip from a previous video that I've done for a client and use that as something that my audience could watch. Or if I'm going to be showing a piece of my drone work, I don't got to get too involved because you're watching it just on a phone screen. You just need something that is impressive enough to get the attention of a viewer, and especially a potential client. If you make it look good, they're going to reach out, they want to know more, and then this is where you get them on a call and you're able to see what they want and see what they really need. Now, the other thing I do to export it is come over here to export. Now, this is where your quality matters, and this is where a lot of people mess up and the color grade doesn't transfer over with them. So the first thing that we need to do is go over to export, add it to whatever we want. So we're going to call this drone clip 1, and we'll do this horizontal. Right, so then I'm going to come down here, save it where I need to save it. All right, so then what I'm going to do is come over here to preset, and I usually like doing 1080. That does good enough for Instagram. You could do 4K if you want, but to me 1080 is just fine. Then what we're going to do to get rid of these black bars on the side is go to match source, then render to maximum depth and use maximum render quality. And then what we need to do is come back down here to effects, and then where it says Lumetri Look LUT, click on that. Then what you need to do is download a gamma compensation LUT, which is what I have right here. And then as you're going to see, it's going to change the color grade to the way that I wanted it to be. As you can see, these shadows kind of popped a little bit more. And then there you go. That holds your best color grade. That holds everything that you need, and it's going to be exported in 1080, which is exactly what Instagram and all these other social media platforms need to get your video going. So then we're just going to export, and that's it for our first training reel. Now on to reel number 2. All right, now for the next training video style is going to be almost the same thing. Instead of rotating it 90 degrees, we're going to keep it at 0, and then we're going to scale it all the way up to 90 so that it can fill the entire frame. So now that the image looks like this, one of the things that we can do is come over to the Windows tab, come down to workspace, and then there's actually a preset for vertical that you can tap, and it allows you to see it in a larger, bigger screen right over here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now, what I'm gonna do, since we already have this edit on this side for what we've done before, and like I said, all my edits are pretty much the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to paste it here, and then as you can see, looks phenomenal. So now on this one, there's a few tweaks that I need to do. So I'm going to come back to this basic correction. I want to bump these shadows and make it a little bit darker, so I'm going to dim it quite a bit. And then I'm going to bring the exposure down to just a +1. I'm going to bump up some of this saturation as well, just to kind of give it some more color. There you go. Then I'm also going to be bumping up this contrast quite a bit. So let's do it to maybe a +20. Yeah, that looks really good. Let's see these highlights. I'm going to bring these down even more. my curves adjustment layer. So I'm going to come back over here to my S curve on the white panel. See how it looks if I bring this down even more. You see how the clouds pop so much more. We're going to bring this down quite a bit. Now let's bring it up. There you go. Then let's bring this down. Look at that. There it is. Yeah, I like the way that looks. All right. So now the other thing I like to do is come over here again. Let's crush some of these blacks down here. Just adds a lot more texture. And then again, if we ever want to check our work and see what it's like without it, we can click that and see this is what our image looks like with no color grade, LUTs, anything like that. Put that back on, and then there you go. And then like I said, if we press enter, you see it's just a slow moving fly-in. So we started at the 10-second mark and it goes all the way to about the 30 or the 20-second mark or the 31-second mark. So it's a 20-second clip. So if we wanted to make this a little bit faster, like if we don't want to clip it but we want to make it faster, so then we can click here and then just go ahead and stretch up, and then we're going to go ahead and right click, show clip keyframes, time ramping, and then speed. And so then what I'll do here is just go the first maybe 3 seconds to 3, press the letter P, it gives us a little pin right here, we click there, and then I'll go all the way and scrub, and then we'll stop at 30. Yeah, let's stop at 29, and then we'll put another dot there. Then I'm going to press V, and then we're going to clip this and then pull up, and then I like to get it all the way to maybe 1200. And now what this does, it allows us to speed ramp this footage. There you go, you see. So now what I want to do is keep it in that 7-second mark, so I'll go right here to where it shows 17, and then I'm just going to continue to stretch until it gets there, maybe at 1600. Then what we can do as well is pull these, and then we'll clip this, bring this over here, and as you can tell, it rounds it out a little bit more. Same thing to this one over here, rounds it out a little bit more. Let's zoom in so you can see. You see that? It's not just a jagged edge anymore. So now we can go ahead and then play this clip. Starts off here with the first 3 seconds, speed ramp, back in. Now this is the second trending reel style that you could be editing to be able to get you potential clients. And now the third one is gonna add a little bit more editing with the music, but to me, anytime I edit these kind of videos, I always have somebody hitting me up on the DM being like, hey, how can you do that for me? All right, now for this one, you're gonna need multiple different styles of clips that you can choose from, and you could edit this in either way. The way that we did it the first time, where it's a vertical format, but it's still horizontal, or like the way that we just did it, which was a vertical format, and the image had to be stretched to fill the whole screen. So you could do it either way, but this one has you edit multiple clips to the beat of a trending song. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose anywhere between 3 to 7 clips. That usually gives us that sweet spot to be able to edit at least 1 or 2 seconds of each clip and stretch that anywhere to maybe 5 seconds to 15 seconds. Now, one of the things you need to do on every single drone footage that you post is finding the best area of the video to post. So even though I normally would want to post maybe this side with the Jenga tower and stuff, you can't really see the sunset or anything there. So if I drag it over this way, you're able to see more of the sunset, right? And then I'm able to frame it in the way that I want. So I'm going to drag it all the way over here. And that's going to allow me to get the sky, the setting sun, all this on one side, but still get the building on the other, the reflection of the water. All of this looks great. So now again, since I already had that edit from my previous video, I'm just gonna go ahead and paste that right there, add that to that, and all I need to do is just tweak it to the way that I want it to look. So let's say maybe I want it a little bit cooler. I could actually just bring it down to the blues, right? or let's say we wanted maybe a little bit more purple in the sky, we can go ahead and do that. Maybe a little bit more green, setting that right there. So this is where your creative eye comes into place. However you want to color grade it, that's up to you. But you know, usually I always try to go for warmer tones. That's just my style. So then I'm bringing that down to a 1. Again, how does this affect it? So we're bringing the highlights down a little bit more so you're able to see the clouds. There you go. Bring down the contrast so we're able to see through some of those shadows. Bump up some of the shadows a bit. Look at that. Okay. S curve. Alright, so maybe we can add that. Maybe like right there. Yeah, that looks really good. Wow. Alright, so now that I really like the way this color grade looks, so then I press enter. And again, we're only choosing the best maybe 2 to 3 seconds. So to me, I love it when I see motion in traffic. So I want to capture this prime motion right here. So then I'm going to go ahead and clip that. Alright, so we start at 20 seconds. So we got our first 3-second clip right there. So then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do that to every single one of the clips. Find the best place that I need to. Resize it. First thing, always resize it. I'm going to go down to, looks like 90. Then I will copy and paste that color grade. Looks phenomenal. Find the best part of the video. Now the other thing that I will do is now we will create a where is it? There it is. We'll create an adjustment layer. Throw that right on top. Come right back over here to the elementary. Go to the creative. Drop down, and every now and then these actually make it look so good. Ultra soft. Let's see. So then I'll just kind of compare what it looks like. As you can tell, it just kind of makes it pop a little bit more. Those shadows will pop just a little bit more, smooths out some of the roughness that's in it. So that one's good. So then also what you can do is then mess with your adjustment layer as well. So if you want it more vibrant, you can add some vibrancy. If you want some more saturation, you can do that. If you want to lower the intensity, so it's almost like a mask, that's usually what I'll do. I'll put it like at 65. Then as you can see, that's a before, after. Not the mask of like a big noticeable difference, but to me, it makes a difference in the edit. So that's kind of what I'll tend to do. So now this is about a 30-second video, and then all you need to do is find a trending song in post and then clip it to that trending song. So let me show you how I would do something like this, especially if it's like on Instagram or a platform. Click on my professional dashboard. This tells you a lot of stuff. Scroll all the way down, you see right there trending audio, and then here, this is where you can choose it from. So then after you're done finding a trending audio, you could just screen record that, put that on your Premiere Pro, and then edit the music to that. So because I don't want to get any copyright issues, I'm going to show you that with a song from Envato that I already downloaded. So I just go ahead and drag that and drop it just like I do the footage, and then I drive it. Then I'll grab it and then drag it and drop it down into the timeline as well. And then I really just try to find wherever the beat lands, and I cut from there. So let's go ahead and hear it. All right, so we have that first beat hit. So we can do that. Okay, so now I want to do quick transfer. So 1, 2, 3. This will be the third one right there. Okay. Let's go right there. So now as you can see, we have it pretty much, so at 30 seconds, this is a 17-second video. So let's go ahead and watch it. So, looked great. One of the things that I always recommend doing when you're posting videos and you just want to like add a little spice to your videos is just add mild zoom in. So what we're going to do is click these on, position, scale, rotation, come down. I press down, went all the way to the last clip. Right, we're going to type 80 on this one and then do it to the next one again. And I'm just doing this to for you guys to see like what kind of changes to make. So this one goes back, so we'll actually do 100 on that one, keep it scaled up, and then it pulls back, so then we'll do 89 just to get that very low one. All right, and over here again. And again, once you know what the edit's going to look like, it tends for it to move fast after that. So that's kind of where, you know, and I kind of already know my numbers, so that's why I'm putting a bunch of this in just from memory. So now let's go ahead and watch this back.
5, 6, 7, 8 times. I need your attention. Someone light and probably got your head bumped. But if you try me, it's a red bump. I do it again, I do it again, I do it again and again and again.
So as you can tell, those were almost 2 different videos just from the zoom in, zoom out, and the music. So you're able to manipulate, change this, do this however you want, whether you're doing it on Premiere Pro or even doing it on your phone. I do these things all the time. So trust me, follow these steps and you will be able to color grade, export, and use these tricks and tips when you're posting your video on social media to get you the most views, and again, to be able to land you potential clients a lot quicker and a lot sooner as a drone pilot. Now, if y'all want to know anything more about drone videography and drone photography, go ahead and watch this video. But if you want to know more about what it's like living in Austin and doing what I do, then go ahead and click on this video. Until next time, catch you on the flip side. Peace out.